By Jason Jacoby Click Argument video. This is my video. My stance on the issue of click arguments. Click arguments are essential electronic contracts that users agree to selecting a checkbox or a button such as agree box. Because users might not have read or comprehend the term, click arguments can result in legal disputes, which is why I oppose them. Versus control, which creates a recorded video of who accepted each argument version and the ability to recapture consent after arguments are updated and other strong arguments. DocuSign explained keeping track of which version of the argument was used is critical. Legal prejudice on click arguments. The arguments are generally viewed as unenforceable since the users give their consent by using the website or application and the terms are disclosed through hyperlinks. According to Kevin Lamb, users are frequently left unaware and constructual terms were even offered by the company, much less that the users continue to use the website or the app will be deemed to constitute exceptions of those terms. I believe that these legal measures is relevant because we are forced to click agree and continue in order to gain access to the website. This is why we call these browse wraps. This is this is a good example of a browse wrap. You cannot continue to the website until you click the checkbox. So for example, this is a good sample right here. Real example of legal court cases on click arguments. In 2014, Barnes and Noble and Nugan ruled that the browse wraps argument was enforceable since the terms were linked at the bottom of the page and the users may not required to do anything. A user sued Barnes and Noble, but the company relied on browse wraps argument terms linked at the bottom of the page, no action required. It explained in the article. The final decision is not legally built, but the terms were not clearly agreed upon. This is a second real-life court case. This is Skeptic versus Netscape. It's an older website. It's a 2000 website. It was a court case. It began when people downloaded software without reading and accepting the terms stated in the article. The article explained that the court refused to enforce the contract. Users did not have reasonable notice of terms. The most important lesson is to avoid burying your terms for enforceability, and there must be a clear notice and visibility. Jiu-Jitsu on click arguments. According to the Prudent President, they're enforceable is examined by the law. Click arguments are enforceable if fully fulfills specific requirements such as obtaining legitimate users' consent and giving a reasonable notice for terms, according to court rulings. Clear term, conspicuous consent buttons, and the option to review terms prior to acceptance are important factors for click wrap arguments. Court point of view. A click argument must typically meet the fundamental requirements of a contract law, such as offer, acceptance, and consideration to be enforceable. When deciding whether such agreements are valid, courts usually look at three main factors. First main factors is term and conditions. This means that the terms and conditions should be presented in any unstable, reliable manner, be promptly displayed and easily accessible. And the article explains ensuring users have a genuine opportunity to review the content overall, making it seem clear with the terms and conditions. Second main factor, assistance. It applies that a person must express their argument term in a clear and unscapable manner. The article explains that the user must ambiguously manifest their assistance to the term. And the article explains that instead of passive acceptance, this called for an affirmative action like clicking a agree button. Third main factor, opportunity. The term should not be obscured or require undue effort to access. The users must have a fair chance to review them before indicating their acceptance. Not fallacy conclusion in click arguments. When users actively agree the term by selecting I agree or comparable buttons, non-factual Factually's conclusions are drawn in the context of a clip wrap argument. These are my sources, and this is my video.